Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show. Planescape Torment, the Unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM. Combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before. Some coins, a roll of bandages, a scrap of paper, and a ring. All the items Farad returned from your body, the possessions of a previous self. The ring itself is warm to the touch and has a trace of magic about it, and while it looks reasonably valuable, it is much too small for your fingers. The note is grubby and stained, and has been folded and refolded numerous times. The blotchy text looks as if it was scrawled by a multitude of hands. Beware shadows. Beware places that night lives. They wait. There is no natural darkness. Only shadows.
You coming along?
A moment.
Well, hurry up.
Just where is this place that you found my body?
Where do you think I'm taking you? You not trust me?
Not yet.
Aye? You've more sense than I gave you credit for. Spot lies behind the painted door in the High Red Light District, just spireward of the smouldering corpse bar. Beyond that is the alley where I found your body.
Right. What did I look like?
Much as you do now. Only paler, I suppose.
No wounds?
Aye. No fresh ones, least.
All right. Let's move on. Much to your relief, Annah had led you on a shortcut through the trash warrens, avoiding the worst of those rancid tunnels. And now, back on the surface, even the choked sigil smog feels like a breath of fresh air. In truth, after the horrors of the tombs and dangers of Undersigil, being back in the hive is like a weight off your shoulders. You've grown fond of this maze of streets and had missed it more than you'd admit. You make your way through the hive past the Primer's Gate and find yourself along a familiar row of buildings. The walls are plastered with graffiti and murals, and there's a strong smell of booze and urine. You recall the wild chase down these cobbles as you fled from a gang of chaositects. And while there is a light thrum of activity, the street seems clear for now. Annah leads you up to a door set within an alcove.
Through there's where we want to be.
All right, let's head on in. As you reach forward, what you first took to be a handle is actually a flat panel of mortar. The door in this archway is in fact only a painting. The artist has made use of the shadows of the overhanging arch and some subtle texturing effects to give the door the illusion of substance. But, other than the skill involved in creating it, there is nothing remarkable about the painting. Wait, are you sure this is the door, Annah?
Aye. It's been smeared with barmy paints from the starved dogs, it has. It's a real door until you look at it. Then it turns into a painting.
How did they do that?
Well, there's stranger things in the plains.
Annah shrugs.
You might as well ask how you got yourself out the dead book after I was sure you were dead.
So, this door, I just don't look at it and then open it. Annah glances at the door, then nods.
That's the dark of it, if it can't be true.
All right then.
Wait, hold on.
Annah stops you.
This is the only path I know to reach the place I found your corpse, but it's not the safest road, aye. You sure you're ready? I'm not here to play you minder, no matter what old Stuttercrutch says.
What's beyond this door that's so dangerous?
Chaos men. army as they come, barking wild into the day and night, ready to either paint you with colours or crack your brain box with a chamber pot. Dangerous bloods they are.
How did you get through?
I crept in, nice and quiet like. They can't paint you or kill you when they can't see you.
She looks you up and down with a frown.
I doubt I could pull that twice with you around. You look right clumsy, you do.
Is that so? Well, just stay behind me. Let me open the door. You close your eyes, reach for the door, and fumble around. To your surprise, you find a solid handle. With a slight tug, the door opens. Time to head on in. A narrow passage leads into the building, with more of the chaotic images sketched along the wall. They distort your perspective and begin to make you dizzy. As you try and walk forward, you stumble into what you thought was a turning, but was just more of the disorienting paint.
Focus on the ground. The barmy walls will have you totting around like a bairn.
Anna strolls ahead, lightly grazing the walls with a finger. You follow her lead and come to some kind of lobby that splits off into corridors, each lined with apartment doors. The air is musty with mildew and turpentine. Set up in the corner, you see a slender tiefling girl standing with her back to you. You notice that both her hands and the upended table in front of her are smeared with a fresh coat of what appears to be pink paint. She seems oblivious to your approach.
Greetings.
At the sound of your voice, the girl turns her head to regard you. Her face is grubby and spattered with the bright pigment, and she flashes you a wide, mischievous smile before returning her attention to the makeshift canvas.
So, you're gonna go up to everyone we come across? Greetings.
I know, right? You'd think he wanted to meet the entire population of Sigil.
Hey, what can I say? I'm just a friendly kind of guy.
Ugh. No wonder you have so many scars.
Perhaps we might continue this conversation once we are clear of this place.
Alright, Pops.
With a grin, Anna darts into one of the corridors with such speed and agility you can hardly keep up. As you pass one of the doors into another nexus of hallways, she holds out a palm, pressing it into your chest. You can't help but notice her skin is blazingly hot, leaving a slight redness at her touch.
Watch your footing.
She nods to a taut wire that stretches across the threshold in front of your boot. You follow the line up the frame and see a brace of daggers loaded into a springed mechanism on the ceiling above.
Look. Oh, so you do have an eye for it?
Anna deftly slinks up and eases the tension behind the trigger, catching the blades as they slide out of their case.
Mate, next time you won't go charging about.
Then tosses one harmlessly at your feet. A flush of warmth rushes to your face.
Anna, didn't I meet you in the hive before I found Farad?
She nods a little warily.
Aye, you did. I haven't forgotten you.
Why make things so difficult? You could have told me then that you'd seen me.
You mean tell some blighter I'd just seen dead in an alley that I'd swapped a little junk for his corpse? You daft.
Well, alright, but you could have said something. I spent days looking for Farad.
I wanted nothing to do with you. Walking Dead are giving me the creeps.
Suddenly, a door bursts open, and a man comes charging out from one of the hovels. A wild grin is stretched across his face, and streaks of paint mark his brow.
Out of the way! Out of the way!
Immediately, another figure crashes down the hall. A Borea, stark naked and painted horn to hoof in black and white stripes.
This'll teach you not to go around painting people in their sleep.
They careen past, bounding away, yelping and giggling and roaring. It's hard to tell if there is real danger or some joyful game.
Maybe this place isn't so bad. What do you say, Chief? Join the fun?
I picture you with a paintbrush. You've nowhere to put it, you floating skull.
You wouldn't believe what I can do with just these teeth.
Ugh!
What's that?
You poke your head round a corner and see an aging man dressed in tattered rags picking away at some kind of stringed instrument.
Written are the prophets, are the holes on the words. Speak the walls silently, the chaos of prophets.
As you draw nearer, you discover that he is missing both of his eyes. The scarred tissue of his eyelids has receded into his empty sockets, giving his features the macabre appearance of a decaying skull.
Greetings.
The old man turns in your general direction, his arms outstretched as if feeling for you. When his hands grab at nothing, he gives up.
Darkness. My old friend. The words I'll speak of you when call chaos.
Speak the words of chaos, and you'll call me old friend. Is this jumbled up scramble speak really necessary?
Between cross poles there is me, for I have no mystery. Once the sea, like a man I raged. Once a woman, like the earth I gave.
The old man cocks his head to one side, his sightless gaze fixed on empty space.
But you, estranged friend, are ill-behaved.
What are you talking about?
Chaos of you are not. Not. Pots not.
It's obvious this is getting me nowhere. Farewell.
Life is never what it seems, and every man must meet his destiny.
Has everyone here lost their minds?
Psst, over here.
Annah calls you over to a shaded vestibule. She is crouched, peeking through the crack in the doorway. You approach and see a brief glint of metal. Suddenly, a steel handbow emerges from the shadows, its bolt pressing into the nape of Anna's neck.
Blistering Beator, could you make any more noise? I heard you from all the way down the hall.
You see a figure obscured amid the shadows in the corner of the room. As you draw near, a woman steps out to reveal herself, dressed in sturdy overalls with short-cropped hair.
You again?
You again? And here I was, pleased to see you.
Annah bats the weapon away casually.
What's going on?
Keep your voice down.
Shut it. I hear something.
A whole mess of them howling lunatics, that's what. Sounds like they're having some sort of gathering. Won't be able to get through to the alley until they clear out.
How many of them are in there?
I counted about a dozen of them. Of course, I was peeking through a crack in the door, so I could be off by a handful or so.
Or so? Eh? Dead on a dozen? I see how that could be a challenge. For you.
Look, Anna, you play the hero if you want, but leave me out of it. I'm staying right here until it's safe. And if by some miracle you don't get your innards stomped, maybe I'll see you around.
She turns and slips back into the shadows of the corner.
Hold on. Who are you?
Her name's Sybil.
Thank you. I can introduce myself. Sybil.
She spits into her palm and reaches out to clasp your hand.
Great. What are you doing in here?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm hiding. I came in here looking for food.
You notice that as she speaks, her right hand moves instinctively to the pouch at her waist.
Only the barking idiots in the next room showed up and decided to throw a party on the front doorstep. Now I'm trapped in here and I can't get out.
Looking for food. Ask her what's in the pouch.
She seems about to respond, but stops herself short. She eyes you for a moment, then shrugs her shoulders.
All right. You're with Annah, so you're obviously not Harmonium. And you're definitely not with the savages in there. I'm a thief. What's it to you anyway? A girl's gotta earn a living somehow.
Some thief? Get you some snagged at a dog party? Hey, hold on. I see another door.
Yes, I saw it too. There's a door that leads in there, and from what I was able to see, there are some stacks of crates along that same wall.
Aye?
So it may be possible to avoid a fight and sneak from that door to the exit on the other side of the room.
Well, problem solved.
No, there is still a problem.
There's always a problem.
Of course. Wouldn't be much fun otherwise.
So,
The door's locked. I tried it. My guess is that one of the other tenants must have a key, but I'm not addle-coved enough to fumble about this hive looking for it.
She folds her arms across her chest and stares at you expectantly. Annah, too.
well, tell me about this place. How many tenants are there?
Annah, you know this place as well as I do.
Aye. Tenement of Thugs, it's called. Safe house for the starved dogs. Mostly just barmy painters and layabouts. But there are a few ruffians. And if they see us, they'll cause a fuss.
Exactly. And then the whole building will wake up. And that would not be good. If anyone's got the key, it'll be one of those loons up top. I've heard a little of the goings-on while I've been here, and there's some chaositect philosopher mincing about. He has a group of cronies babbling around him. All nonsense, but they do seem to have the run of the place.
Right. Well, if the key is up there, I'll find it.
I can't have you stomping about making a skrik. I'll lead.
As you wish.
If you do manage to live long enough to find the key, the doors in a room dragward to here. I'll be watching from the shadows. If you can unlock the door and make it out to the alley in one piece, I'll be right behind you.
Farewell, then.
Hey, farewell, Sybil.
As you stalk through the mouldering halls of this tenement, you begin to notice a tension in Anna's movements. You suspect the encounter with Sybil had caught her off guard. In the short time that you have been following her, she has been nothing less than assured and agile. Though now, there is a hesitation before every move, a triple scan along every corridor.
Would you keep up? I can't be checking my back every step to see if you're there.
She rattles the handle of the door in front of her.
It's all right. We're with you.
She takes a deep, slightly strained breath and unloops a ring of slender tools from behind her ear, then delicately slots them into the lock on the door. If it wasn't clear before now, it is more than apparent that Annah is no simple collector.
How do you and Sybil know each other?
It's not important.
You work together?
After a moment, she withdraws the tools with a little frustration.
Something like that.
So you're a thief, right?
No. And what gave you that idea?
She pulls out a small flask and soaks its contents onto a rag, then proceeds to rub the contents of the flask over the implements before returning them to the lock.
Look, at least for now, can we just try and trust each other?
Ah, you gully. What's it to you?
Because I need to know who I'm working with.
All right, fine. I'm a thief, a rogue, a knight of the post, coney catcher. What? You're gonna turn me into the harmonium?
No.
The door clicks open.
Good. Ah, jackpot.
Annah leaps towards a large sealed crate at the back of this room. It appears to just be basic storage.
I thought we were looking for stairs.
Yeah, anything that's locked up is worth snapping open.
She grins.
Yeah, most times. If you want to be useful, grab that pry bar and get over here.
She nods to a bundle of tools on one of the cramped shelves.
All right. What do you need?
See there?
There's a coil.
Aye, another trap. Hold that here. I'll disarm it.
She motions for you to wedge the pry bar into the seam while she hooks her tools into the gap.
Why so many traps? Don't people live here?
What? Barmies? Aye, they live here. As much as they live anywhere, they land each night as Kip. Chaos men are about as paranoid as they come. And for good reason. Your best pal might just as quick gut you in your sleep as grab you for a night of passion. And forget your name the very next day.
Is that from
Me
experience?
dags are inches from your stem. I wouldn't finish that thought if I were you.
Noted.
You feel a slight flex of the metal, and then a ping.
Watch out!
There is a twang of snapping steel as you cast your body forward, pressing Annah into the ground beneath you. As you do, you feel a slicing pain on the back of your arm, and a rusty blade clatters to the floor.
Everything all right in there? Oh my! I did not mean to interrupt. What you about? Will you get off me?
She rolls out from underneath you.
You okay? You're bleeding.
Oh, you fool! What you done?
The trap released.
Well, you just shouldn't have been distracting me while I work. Are you okay?
You look over and see a large gash severing your left tricep. As you watch, tendrils of skin begin to creep across the wound, and your blood rapidly coagulates about it.
Oh my! What in the abyss is happening?
It is agony this time. You still feel like you haven't fully recovered from the drowned nations, and the rust on this blade burns as it is sluggishly pushed from your skin.
Yeah. So, about that, Chief. There are a few things you may want to know.
Oh, you cursed, you are.
Yeah, that may be.
I didn't really think you were deathless, but...
It's fine. What was in the box? Nothing. Just junk. Chaos attacks. Let's just move on.
Annah continues to lead you about the jumbled corridors, up several flights of narrow stairs. You're surprised how big this building is, wondering how many apartments are crammed onto each level, though you suspect most sit empty and abandoned. The array of aromas is also quite dazzling. A savory scent of stewed onions wafts from one doorway, followed by lavish perfume from another. Then, you're fairly sure you detect the smell of burning sulfur, punctuated by frequent spritzes of paint thinner, mold, and body odor. Annah frequently darts ahead, checking various doors. After entering one, you hear the start of a panicked yelp that is quickly cut short. After a moment, she steps outside, a sheepish look on her face.
Don't go in there.
You can't help but lean your head into the tiny chamber, and the first thing that strikes you is the stench. And then you notice the slumped body and the chamber pot beneath him.
Oh, no. I told you not to go in there.
Eventually, you come to a larger stairway that opens out onto a wide landing, and you hear the muttering of gruff voices above.
You said to leave it alone, so leave it alone. But you gotta want to know what's inside. It smells funny. Powerful. Power and strength.
I think that's the one we're after. Sneak up and nab him?
What if they call for help?
Come on, we can take him. Let's shut him up. They'll try me bar me with that chip.
I have an idea. Mort, can you distract them?
Powers. Fine.
You and Dakon press to either side of the stairway, and for a moment, you think Annah has disappeared entirely, until you see the swish of her tail as she clings to a beam above. With all three of you in position, Mort calls out.
Hey, plain swine. What I gotta do to get some action round here?
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, you filthy stinkers.
The Chaos Men begin to trudge down, their steel-shod boots clanking upon the steps.
Oh, no. Oh, maybe I came to the wrong place. Even 50 swigs of brandy wouldn't make you look good.
What? Let's see how this plays out. Bag him.
Infuriated, they lunge forward, but as the first comes into view, you throw out Narm, slamming into the thug's throat as he crumples to the floor. Dakon follows up, grabbing the next, clamping his hands about their mouth. In a movement too swift for you to follow, Annah drops behind the third, and her blades draw along his throat, spraying blood across the stairs.
Why do you do that?
What do you mean?
She's right. It would not serve to leave them behind.
We could have tied them up. Oh, what? You got rope tucked under that little skirt of yours?
Hells.
You crack your pry bar across the remaining man's temple, and his eyes go dim.
Oh, well. Sure he deserved it.
What makes you say that?
It's just easier that way. Trust me. Come on, check him.
You pat them down and find a key on one of their belts, the leader, you presume. He looks strong. You suspect, had you faced him and his goons in a fair fight, they may have bested you. You close his eyelids and try not to think too hard about what just happened. With the key in hand, you work your way back to the ground floor and find the door Sybil had spotted, leading to the exit. You can hear the gathered thugs in the room beyond, their howls mixing with what sounds like drinking, sparring, and raucous laughter.
Okay, now follow my lead. I'll open this door nice and quiet. If what I remember seeing is true, there should be some boxes and crates we can hide behind. I'll go first, then follow, one at a time. Get into the shadows as quick as you can. You can?
I can. Yeah, I understand.
Now, if the jig is up and we're made, you better have something in mind, because they'll chase us all night through the streets, make no mistake. You ready? How about you, Pops?
Skull?
The look on Dakon's face does not fill you with confidence, and you wonder what he thinks of your new tiefling guide.
I'm ready. All right, let's go.
Annah drips a little oil from her flask into the keyhole and gives it a turn. Then, with the delicateness of a jeweler, gently opens the door. Immediately, your senses are assaulted by the smell of tobacco smoke and booze, along with the hoots and jeers of the Chaos Men. With a quick nod, Annah darts into the shadows, dissolving into darkness. Mort, floating closer to the ground, then quickly follows.
Dakon, you next.
He looks uneasy and hesitant. Despite all the dangers you have been through, ones that he has faced without trepidation, Dakon seems now very much out of his comfort zone, his glaive shifting in color and texture.
Know that you can do this. We just need to get past without causing any trouble.
With a grim nod, he too heads inside. Your turn. Looking through, you see a large hallway with several pillars supporting the ceiling. This door sits in a dingy corner, mostly covered by shadows. There's a short gap between you and a piled-up stack of boxes, crates, and other cast-aside objects. The starved dog's barking gang members are clustered about the hall in small groups. A handful are drinking and chatting, while others spar on a blood-encrusted mat, and a number of them are bounding on all fours and rolling about. None seem to have noticed you enter. Keeping low, you dash across the gap and duck down into cover. Dakon is just in front, while Mort and Annah have made it to one of the pillars closest to the exit. You look around, counting all 12 of the thugs. Most are gathered back towards the door leading further into the tenement, but 3 of them are lingering close by. Annah catches your eye and signals to wait. They appear to have elected one of their gang to make a speech. Mort takes this opportunity to bob towards the main door.
All right.
Dakon is about to make a break for the pillar, but Annah quickly shoots around and signals for him to wait. The orator has stepped out into the open, forcing Annah to press against the pillar, just as the entire room turns in her direction, Mort barely clinging into the shadows of the frame. Another Chaosman chimes in, pouncing up over one of the crates. Your stomach drops as you see Dakon cowed beneath. Just as you think you are made, every inch and scale of his armor and blade melt into inky black, and even you can hardly see. The starved dog clambers down, jeered by the rest, and the Chaos Men disperse. Annah, secure now, darts towards Mort and creaks open the door before giving you a thumbs up. Dakon looks to you with a nod and makes for the exit. That's all. Just a few steps through the shadows and you are free. You see Dakon's back as he slips through the door, and just as you are about to dash, Annah makes a frantic cutting motion across her neck. One of the dogs has staggered to the pillar, choking and gagging. You step back and turn to hide, and stand face to face with a man urinating against the boxes. Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.